Yeah, what's up? No, let me go tweet and stuff. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, there's 4 people watching. I'm in an ad right now. There's 5 likes. All right, I'm ready. No, let me go tweet and stuff. Whoa, yeah, you can hear me. Someone got a haircut.
Oh, crap.
No. 5 people in here. Oh, I'm audible. Your the microphone's never gone.
All right, 1 second. I gotta figure out why my microphone isn't being recognized, but let me add you to the show. Can you, yeah, here, listen to,
Oh yeah, I can't hear you.
I know. Thank you. Ooh. Hello, Jackson. How you doing today? Can you hear me in the show now?
Yeah.
No, but like in the show on the stream, if we're talking.
Yeah.
Alrighty, alrighty. That's good to know that now your boy is here. Okay, so what up, guys? New NBA show. This is the new setup. I hope you guys do enjoy. We got a couple other breakout boxes that we'll be able to go ahead and use. One of them being like so. 1 second. Oh no. One more. There we go. Look at that, Jackson. Look at that. We're able to jump.
Nice.
We also have different types of swipes. We'll be able to jump between little things. I hope you guys do like the new way I built the show. I did get a haircut. I asked for 1.5 inches off, and they fucking gave me. I asked for 1.5 inches off, and this is the haircut I walked out with.
Isn't 1.5 inches a lot?
No, 1.5 inches is like this, bro. Look at my head.
It's a lot of hair. You just
Yeah,
did this for a ton of hair.
yeah, so your boy over here just got his head chopped, but that's not even what it's about, guys. Welcome to the newest version of the NBA show. I hope you do enjoy. And right now, I think Jackson, I can move you also. You don't have to worry. I can adjust you. This is a bit different. I hope that you guys do like the setup. We got a couple other more. When we get the boys in, we'll have more different angles. But right now, we got different wipes. We got different splits. All right. We can jump around. We got things to plug in. I hope you guys do enjoy it. So let's get right into it and talk about the Miami Heat winning and beating Game 2, the Denver Nuggets. What's your thoughts about this game? Was there anything in specific that you were surprised by that they were able to achieve by any chance? And what do you think they need to do? So let's get right into it. Let me hear your thoughts, Jackson.
Well, of course, I had no Wi-Fi all weekend, so I had to get mobile to watch this basketball game. And I don't like watching big time games in big settings, but I can't believe the Miami Heat won after the way the second quarter went, and I'm happy. I still think the Miami Heat win it now. Denver definitely looked beatable. So, Jimmy stepping up, Bam stepping up, Gabe Vincent.
This was really Gabe Vincent, though. Gabe Vincent saved the day.
Gabe Vincent game.
It was the Gabe Vincent game, okay? There was no other way to call it than the Gabe Vincent game because of the way that he played was absolutely phenomenal. And he just could not miss at points. It felt like he had ice in his veins, all right, as stealing D'Angelo Russell's line. But another good player was You know, I think Gabe Vincent was great. Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson had his moments. I think personally, we could all agree. Was there anybody else that you think was underappreciated in this matchup? I mean, Jimmy Butler disappeared. Okay, and we'll talk about that in a second. But that's what I was thinking, that Jimmy completely disappeared, and it was interesting to see, because people were always saying that LeBron was getting carried, but Jimmy Butler's undraftables are carrying him right now, in a way you could say. I don't know if you agree with that sentiment, but let me hear your thoughts about that. Do you think Jimmy Butler's being carried right now, or at least his team is playing hella good? Okay, that it's hard to ignore how much they've helped him out in this series. What's your thoughts right there?
Well, your team's got to be good. You know, sometimes you got to carry, sometimes you're going to get carried. I thought Jimmy still showed up when he needed to show up, which was something we haven't seen in a couple of games. So there was that. But no, I mean, yeah, Gabe Vincent had a great game. I know Kevin Love wasn't Mr. Efficient, but I thought his threes were pretty important at important times before kind of looked like Denver was about to run away at various points, specifically in the second, start of third. Caleb didn't do too much offensively. Duncan Robinson, I sent a joke text in like the first quarter when he made a couple of bad defensive decisions, but Duncan Robinson did a great job to close it off. And yeah, I mean, I thought Jimmy and Bam and Gabe were money for him. Max Strus also great first half, great first couple of minutes, knocking down threes. So I mean, it just kind of shows it. You know, a mile high, they can win it. They can do it here. They just
No,
got one.
no, I completely agree. Like, this was a great performance the by the Denver Nuggets in terms of being able to stick around this whole time, by showing that they weren't going to lose this game. What I was impressed by was the fact that there was moments in the game where the team, it looked like the Miami Heat were better without Jimmy Butler on the floor, but then at other times, Jimmy Butler needed the boys out there on the floor and him not to be on the floor. But I really think Gabe Vincent was huge. I mean, dude, Cody Zeller did a good job out there playing defense. I thought that was fun to watch. Was there anything else that
I
you?
I think Cody Zeller should pack his bags and get to Cancun. I think he is done. He's toast. But it's hard to guard Jokic. I mean, you could say the same thing about Jokic in the second quarter when Jokic was off the field, off the court. I mean, they were killing it. They were on a run. They were on a heater. So you could go both ways.
Oh damn! Sorry, my screen accidentally changed. But I wanted to say that the next thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that, did you think this was a game that was was it lost early, or was this a game that you felt like the Denver Nuggets could get back into at any point?
But the Heat came back. So, I mean, it started Miami's way, and then Denver starts to pick it up by the end of the first quarter. And Denver might have even been winning. I think Miami was still up like two or something.
I don't know why, but on my side, you sound fucked up, but like you sound perfectly fine on the stream. I don't know why it's like being weird in my ear, but it's completely fine. I just had to check it on the stream. Either way, I think this was a game where, like, when you looked at it, I meant the sense that, like, it felt like in the second half this became the Miami Heat game, and even though the Nuggets were winning, it just felt like Jamal Murray wasn't, and like Nikola Jokic weren't. I guess I just didn't feel like the Nuggets were in control of this game. Is what I'm really trying to get after.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Jokic, I mean, Christian Brown did a good job.
Christian Brown was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Christian
the other
Brown
Brown did a
deserves
good job.
all the credit in the world. Okay, in my opinion. he was the guy that we all wanted to see, and he showed up like he was supposed to. So for me, I think that was just something that people didn't even realize how good of a player he was in that game, and how I think influential he was, in the first half, and that's why he played most of the second half. He earned Michael Malone's, trust. Christian Brown.
If Michael Porter Jr. is giving you 5, and Aaron's not clearing 15, and Jamal finishes with what, like 17, 15, it's gonna be tough. So yeah, once Miami, no one was making their shots, so Jokic had to kind of step it up and just go all balls to the wall on offense at, what do you at, 41. So yeah, it's just a great bounce back win for Miami, and it looked so grim because that's what makes it weird is they started so good, and then
But they
they were
don't
making
need.
threes all game.
Yeah, and the thing is I think the Heat showed that they didn't need Jimmy to freaking win this game. Okay, when Jimmy came back in the fourth, or I think he had 13 points. Like there was a good part of the game where I was talking to Luke while I was watching the game, and I was like, "Where is Jimmy?" Okay, they were going on a run, and then I realized the guys on the floor were not even Jimmy. I think the lineup was Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, and Kevin Love, or Bam Adebayo out there. And they like went on that like 8-0 run.
Yeah, sometimes it motivated too.
Well, before
You gotta
that they
step it
were,
up.
you remember last time earlier in the game, it was like 3 minutes and 43 seconds that Jimmy Butler left the game, and they went negative 12 without him in the game. I was just talking with Luke. I was like, what happened with Jimmy Butler and the first couple games where, well, not first couple games, but since game three of the Eastern Conference Finals, Jimmy Butler hasn't been the same player he was in the first two rounds and in the first three games of the Eastern Conference Finals where he was getting whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Which I'm just interested to see, like, why is that the case?
Well, he's I don't know. We saw it in the fourth, but he's pretty adamant about shooting sometimes, which is weird. Uh, it's like he's trying to get his teammates going, drive and kick, drive and kick, and then he'll decide to turn it on. So he probably realized like, hey, I could go and drop 35, 40 a night, but if my teammates aren't hitting their shots, well, it's just not a sustainable way to win these finals. But I would imagine Jimmy has another 35-point game, something close to 40 before the finals are over. But Gabe Vincent, Gabe Vincent, I swear, has missed like three threes all playoffs. I mean, if he's doing that, if your players are chipping in, Tyler Hero could be back for game 3. We haven't heard anything, so I'm gonna assume no, but we have until Wednesday night.
It was weird how they basically just stopped talking about Tyler Hero. He was getting hyped up if he was going to come back for game two, and then he ends up coming back for game three, which, I mean, whatever. But they did make it seem like he was going to be there for game two, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll see him. I imagine we'll see him before. I really like all these days off. I'll imagine we'll see him by the end of the week. Game 4 is on Friday. Game 3 is Wednesday. We'll
No,
see. They drag these finals on so much. I think what's the last game scheduled for? It's like June 18th. It's 2 weeks
yeah,
away.
I think it's the day before the NBA draft.
Like
So,
it is absolutely crazy. I covering playoff basketball this year was not as fun as I thought it would be. It started pretty fun, and then life kind of catches up, and you realize, like, oh shit, I didn't watch the 12 games of basketball this weekend. I'm ready for the finals to be over, but I'm going to enjoy the finals. So I'm glad that they are on the last 3 days. You've been having 3 days in between.
mm.
I just like it.
No, I understand liking that setup a bit more because it is a grind, to say the least, on how it all works out. So, any other things to say? Because I don't think we're gonna give our predictions. I think we'll we'll leave it where we're at right now in terms of what we saw. I think this is a 7 game series. So if you want this shit to be over, just know I think we still got a lot more time, ladies and gentlemen, for this series to continue to be played. You?
Yeah, Eaton 7.
You think so?
Yep.
Alrighty. I still think it's a 7 game series, but I think it's it's a toss up on who's going to win it. But let's go on and talk about some other news going on in the NBA, and that being, alrighty, you ready? And that being the guy in the NBA, around the NBA, that you could say maybe you're making some moves. Now, I'm trying to get, I have like a window capture, and I'm trying to see if that's you. Okay, there we go. This is the one I'm trying to move. I'm trying to make this smaller. There we go. That looks better. Now, when we look at the current NBA, expansion is approaching. Adam Silver goes, expansion makes sense over time. What are your thoughts on the NBA expanding, and do you think this is something that we're going to see? We've talked about it briefly before. I've said it, Seattle's a guaranteed, but then there's Las Vegas. I've heard people talk about Mexico City. I know Las Vegas is basically the guaranteed to be the second one, but there's rumors it could also be Kansas City or Mexico City. What are your thoughts on the second expansion team? Do you think it's a guarantee it's Las Vegas because the city of sin is very profitable?
It'll 100% be Vegas. I'm watching this stream. I'm like geeking.
What do you mean?
I think it'll definitely be Vegas. It
What
probably
are you
should
geek-
be Vegas.
What are you saying it's geeking?
I don't know. Like Thomas, let me know if yours is geeking. It's just laggy.
It's
Choppy.
looking like the stream looks choppy.
Yeah. I don't know how big of a deal it is though. Like we've been frozen on my screen for a while here.
I wonder. Well, TP's talking about he would love to see a team in Vancouver return.
Yeah, you fucking wish. That makes one of us not. A Vancouver team would be interesting. I mean, it would be interesting. It feels a little hockey, which I'm all for.
Well,
I
didn't
don't think it'll be
Memphis
Vancouver.
leave Vancouver because they were absolutely like making zero money? Wasn't that the whole thing? They were making no money whatsoever. So I do wonder how that all played out.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I don't like expansion teams in any sport.
Really, I've always loved expansion teams.
I think I don't mind when a team gets introduced, but I don't like I'm still not used to the Seattle Kraken. I think the Kraken sound stupid, but Seattle fans love it. I think the
Really?
Las Vegas Golden Knights is a stupid name, but
Wow.
they're just new. Like the Los Angeles Rams, all set. Like it's St. Louis Rams, Los Angeles Chargers, all set on that. It's the Washington Redskins. Like, stop going from one place to another.
I was with a coworker and I didn't know if he was a libtard or not, so I was talking about like
Oh my.
the Commanders, but like when they were the Redskins. And I said Redskins first, and I real quickly because I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know if he was a libtard. And I go Commanders. He looks at me. He's like, dude. He's like, they were the Redskins then. He's like, call them the Redskins. I was like, thank. I literally looked at it. I was like, thank you, Ryan. I was like, I didn't know if you were one of those people who are like, you have to call them by their name. What up, Baltimore? XD Zaythoven. Baltimore Melon, be more.
I'd love to see a team in Baltimore, but
we just don't have an arena. We don't have an arena.
Pick it.
Well, our problem, if, like we want an NBA team, we have the Royal Farms Arena Convention Center, which is where the Baltimore Bullets used to play, and they've renovated a few times. We have like Javante Davis fight there before and stuff like that. But like that, I'm pretty sure that arena would either have to be torn down and we have to build a new one, or we'd have to build an arena in the county, or we'd have to do so much renovation to that arena currently to bring it up to standards. Plus, with the Wizards already being there, the NBA's just looks. The Wizards would say like we would be impeding on their territory because the Wizards would argue, well, there's no need for a Baltimore team because they're only 25, 30 miles away. So everyone in
Yeah,
Maryland
that's true.
cheers for the Wizards. Like the
Yeah.
Wizards basically claim Maryland, Virginia, and like yeah, that area. Because then if you're from Delaware, you're either a Wizards or a Sixers fan.
Mhm.
So like, I would love Baltimore, but like, it's just it. People are markets, TV markets. It isn't worth it. You gotta. They want to go to places where the TV market's untapped. Seattle, Vegas, Mexico City, another Canada team.
Mexico City would blow up for sure. Um, I don't think they'll do it quite yet,
I
but
think the whole thing holding back Mexico City and another international team is travel. Toronto gets away with it because
mm,
it's like basically as if you're flying to Michigan. But when they try to do expansion, people don't think about like the actual like
yeah.
shit that like the travel and like the other shit that goes into factoring how you do it. So let's move on and let's talk about Nikola Vucevic is looking for a 3-year deal, or the Bulls are looking at a 3-year deal for Nikola Vucevic. Is it 3 years, 30 million? Is it 3 years, 60 million? Is it 3 years, 75 million? What would you pay Vuce? Well, at first we thought they weren't going to re-sign him, but it seems with more and more time that he is going to stay. Except, like I know he can get offered a 4-year, I think it's 4 years, $120 million deal basically is the max they can give him, or 4 year, 150, which like I would never give him. But what would you're a Bulls fan? What would you give Vooch?
Oh, I mean, 3 years, 30 million sounds awesome. That's not going to happen. 3 years, 60 million sounds awesome. I don't think that'll happen. I think it would be 3 years, 90, 3 years, 75. Um, I think it'll be probably around 25 million, which I'm fine with. I love Vucevic. He is an integral part of our offense. And the only other guy I would look into is Brooke Lopez. And Brooke Lopez is old. We don't have a roster that like Brooke Lopez takes us to the next step. He gets us to that championship level. So, uh, as big of a fan as I was going Brooke Lopez and Kristaps Porzingis as my next big man duo. We're not quite there yet, so yeah, I'd keep Vucevic. We already fucked it up and missed out on Wagner and everybody else.
I'm talking
So
about Mo Wagner or Franz
no,
Wagner?
Franz
Because
Wagner.
you traded away Wendell Carter.
We traded away Wendell Carter and two first round picks, like an idiot for
Wendell
two.
Carter is like what I would say is like the least you would want your best big man to be. Like he's the 15th best big man. He's like the best average big man in the league. Like he's not bad, but you wouldn't say he's elite. And he's like
Yeah.
not overpaid. He's like on the perfect salary.
Yeah.
You could win
Yeah.
a championship with Wendell Carter. You just would need like 4 other really good players in your starting lineup.
I need Draymond Green and I need guys like Dre if I want to. Not that he's soft or anything. It's just I need more.
Yeah,
You're not winning a championship with Kayvon Looney as your only big man. The Kayvon Looney and Draymond Green combo. Nice.
that's a good point. Well, over here, they're looking at 3-year extension. This is a guy who's still incredibly durable. 73 and 82 games in his full seasons. And he averaged 17.6 points and 11 rebounds per season. And the reason why they are going to re-sign him is that if you look around the market, they wouldn't be able to replace him with anybody better. Nor do they have the cap space or the trade assets to do so.
Are you talking about Vucevic?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
but
exactly.
I think we got to talk about all the coaching news that's gone on in the NBA from Sam Cassell, all right, joining the Boston Celtics again, to we got other news right over here. So much NBA hirings in terms of like coaches. Terry Stotts is another one we got right here that joined the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. And I'm mind blown by the amount of coaches this week we saw just literally get hired. Another one, James Borrego. We'll talk about them all in one because it makes no sense to single them out and just talk. I mean, maybe we'll spend more on another one, but James Borrego is the lead assistant for the New Orleans Pelicans now. Kevin Young is the highest paid assistant in the NBA to remain on the Phoenix Suns staff with Frank Vogel. Alrighty. And then we also had Kevin Ollie join the Brooklyn Nets. What are your thoughts on all these coaches getting hired? What does it mean? I personally think it's because what we were talking about the other week, there's parity in the NBA now, and NBA teams are realizing we need better coaching to exert the most potential from every player on this roster.
And Kevin Ollie went to the Nets.
Yeah, Kevin Ollie went to the Nets, joined Jacques
Wow,
Vaughn's coaching staff.
big good for them. Yeah, I think we heard a lot of the rumblings like all year. Um, this is something where if you watch like a Spurs game, though, they're pretty big on like a team like the Spurs or the
They have a huge
Celtics, like
coaching
a
staff,
team, yeah, a team with like a good,
deep
uh,
bench.
yeah, like, but they have like the track record for having that and producing that. Like, that's when
Yeah.
you see, I feel like it's on those broadcasts where you really hear, like, yeah, this is a former, Will Hardy or whoever it is, former staffer for blah, blah, blah. I think it's super important. Like, Sam going to Boston's huge. All those moves are huge. Uh, I think having Kevin Young still like being the highest paid assistant coach. I think that's huge. I really actually like the Frank Vogel hiring. I get that his name was a little. I mean, he got fired from the Lakers, so like
Well, they said that he was the guy they wanted all along.
I love it. I really think he's perfect. I think it. No disrespect at all to to Kevin Young. I just think
Kevin
if you
Love had a
have
good game last night.
if I have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, like I want Frank Vogel. I don't want a first year head coach, even if he's coming off the bench and he's fully deserving. His time will come. Like I just, we just traded for KD. Let's get a guy who's got a ring, who's been
No,
here before.
I completely agree, and I think he's a guy that like he's gonna get this team's problem was defense. They needed better defense, and by getting this guy, Frank Vogel's at least gonna fix the defense. The offense doesn't need to be fixed. You got one of the best offensive duos in the league between Booker and Durant.
Yeah, you just need more depth, and I think they'll take a similar approach to what Denver's been doing last offseason, specifically in getting Brown and KCP. I think. Okay, imagine if Brown and KCP were on the Suns. Be like, oh shit. Obviously, there
Dude,
are still their holes, but like, fuck,
like they're
not
still gonna have
really.
to go out and get depth, but if they get guys who can play defense, I personally think then yeah, okay, you got yourself a guy in Frank Vogel who's going to be able to coach up this team in my opinion. So I'm very interested to see like who or why this is gonna like I just think it's very interesting the way this is playing out. Your thought?
Yeah, Suns are exciting.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's interesting. But with that being said, do you think the coaching staff of, if you call it like the, when you look at a team like Terry Stotts joined the Bucks, Adrian Griffin, and then James Borrego joining Willie Green, and then we got other guys like I said Willie Green got James Borrego, Kevin Ollie joined the Nets, Terry Stotts to the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that's everyone. Well, any of
Damn,
those
that's
guys?
crazy.
Yeah, I
I
think
did
Terry
not see that.
Stotts gonna help Adrian Griffin with offense. Personally, that's what I see. Which of those Kevin Ollie? I think he just wanted to be back in the NBA.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts?
I can hear myself. I don't know why. Oh, it stopped. Terry Stotts. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, I
Guess
think
that's what
that's because
happens when you got no Wi-Fi.
I think Terry Stotts, they brought him because he's like an offensive genius, and Adrian Griffin's more a defense coach, and so I think they're gonna have him coach the the offensive side of the ball and be like the offensive coordinator for Adrian Griffin, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think NBA teams fire coaches too quickly. I think you have situations like Steven Salas where it's like this isn't the freaking guy. But then there's also like, Joe Mazzulla had just gotten fired. But and you see it so much more in the NFL where you'll have these guys be, like I don't know why this came to my head, but like Matt Nagy, the old coach for the Chicago Bears, in his first season, takes him to the playoffs and then gets basically like dragged from his feet out of the city of Chicago, like get the fuck out of town. Then he's like the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Uh, I think Andy Reid is, but he's the QB coach or whatever. Like having
No, no,
these
no.
guys,
Matt
I feel
Nagy
like
is
you
now
just
the
see it
offensive
in
coordinator.
football where you have this big tree of good coaches, and in basketball they're just like firing, and then like he goes here, and then he goes here, and he goes here. But in football, it's like a demotion. Like now you got to be, QB coach for your offensive coordinator, and then maybe one day you'll be a coach again. But Josh McDaniel, great example.
Yeah,
So I
no.
love coaching stories in basketball, and I don't think the NBA. I don't even know if it's the NBA's fault for doing this. I think it's just a different game. There's only five people on the court at once that it often is overlooked. And if we're talking coaches, you only think about your head coach and maybe people think about an assistant coach. I think most people actually don't know their assistant coach on their favorite basketball teams.
Oh, people don't
Um,
know. Yeah, no, people don't go that deep looking for who are the
yeah.
assistants.
So
So
it's cool when you have trees like Boston or San Antonio that are just producing these proteges, and then these guys get their gigs, and it's just cool.
no,
But
I agree, and it's
you don't
I
hear
think
about it.
you don't hear about it. And like Kevin Ollie, I think after missing out on this coaching job, he just wanted to go somewhere where he could get the opportunity to, be in the NBA, be around it as a coach, because he's never coached as an assistant in the NBA. So for me, I think he's a guy that definitely wanted just to be around the game regardless of being a head coach or not. And I think this was a perfect opportunity for him. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, if he wasn't going to end up being,
A head coach.
coach for the Pistons, yeah, the head coach for the Pistons, 100%, go get some more, go make more connections. Who knows what's going
Exactly.
to happen? Enjoy it. Brooklyn's probably pretty fun. And yeah, thank you, Thomas, as well.
No, mega. And I think a lot of these moves are also because like they're just trying to people don't realize like how important it is to have like a good coaching staff like that
Mm,
that can delegate for the head coach because the head coach can't do everything, you know?
yeah.
And a lot of these guys, people don't realize some coaches are player development, some coaches are like X and O's, other coaches
Mm,
are like, more of a I guess you would say like they're more practice coaches like running drills there's certain coaches that are better at other things than other coaches if that makes sense
yeah.
like I think people don't realize that basketball like we think of football there's an offensive coordinator there's a defensive coordinator there's a special team people don't realize that like there's a similar setup for basketball just like we don't use the same names there's guys who are the defensive coordinators that specifically works on the X and O's and the defensive rotations and schemes and then there's other guys who specifically work on like the like what offense we're running, and then other guys who just work on developing and training the guys.
Yeah, I I don't know, man. I love basketball, but football, I think like football is as close to a perfect product as you can get. Like it really is. Like
Well,
there's just something about football. I don't
it's
know,
just
like
because
a
there's like
defensive line coach. Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, there's D line coaches. Like, yeah, there's way more coaching in football, and
Special
it's
teams coach. Fuck yeah. Give me
fuck
all of
yeah.
that. Win or go home. Fuck yeah.
I
The
am
Chicago fucking Bulls were beating the Miami Heat with 3 minutes left in the stupid second playing bullshit game. God damn it. That's so it's off topic and irrelevant, but it's just some bull. It's some
no,
fucking bull.
you're not a fan.
Well, it sucks. It hurts. It
I just
stings.
it
We were up
stings.
three with three to play. I know it's not a huge lead, but they just won a game in Denver in the NBA Finals. Like, it's just nuts.
No, I agree. And like the crazy part is that they snagged a game in Denver, which is like pretty important if you were trying to win this series, is snagging a game in Denver.
Oh yeah. Now the finals officially start. The finals don't start till or playoff series doesn't start till an away team gets a win or a road team gets a win. And I thought it was so funny all the suits. Like I was walking up the stairs from my hotel and I was out of breath. And they throw up like the above sea level, and Miami's like 6 feet above sea level, and Denver is way more than 6 feet.
It really isn't
Every
that bad. Every
time
time I've
I
gone,
see Denver, what?
no, I think they overrate how like
How altitudey it
yeah,
is.
like I've been to Denver and I don't feel it. Maybe I just have good cardiovascular shape.
Yeah, I don't know if like Stan Van Gundy's in the
I don't
healthiest
I don't
frame, but
I don't think he is,
I,
but
I just find it so funny. But every time I watch a Denver sports game, like whether it's the Broncos or the Nuggets, uh, or the Rockies, especially, I think the Rockies are like one of the coolest teams in the league. Like, I just want to live in Denver. I don't know. I want to live in Denver. That's the end of the
why?
statement. I just kind of want to like see what it's like. I've been to Denver one time and not enough to get the gist, the jive, the
I
vibe of
like
it.
Denver.
Everyone says like, oh, it's a bunch of not libtards, but like
Oh,
what?
Wooks, granola.
Yeah, maybe a little, like I'd fit in. My outfit right now would fit in. Like I'd be just another Denver dude. But
I would just be another Denver
is
dude.
progressive the word I'm looking for, or is that more of like a
Libtard,
Minneapolis?
granola. It's granola.
I'm not
Wooks.
trying. Libtards is definitely not the word I'm looking for. I think progressive is the word I'm looking for, which might be a not good thing. But no, real quick, I have another take. And this has been going on Twitter the last couple of games. The ESPN has done the worst job imaginable for like just promoting this as the NBA Finals. And I saw a tweet that summed it up perfectly, where it was like, if you had no knowledge of basketball and or like of what's going on in basketball right now, and you watched last night's game, you would have no idea just looking at the screen that it was the NBA Finals. Like obviously they have the trophy off a half court now, which never should have been done. But it doesn't even say NBA Finals. Like it just says like Denver's up 1-0. It's not like game two NBA Finals, folks. Like this is a big fucking deal. The Miami Heat are about to break history, or the Denver Nuggets are about to break history. Like history is gonna be made, and this is the NBA Finals. It just feels like a regular season game.
Wow.
Disgrace. It does. There's nothing about it. Watch it for next game. Hopefully they fix it. There's nothing.
No, we'll keep an
Nothing.
eye out for next game. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and do a quick mock draft. It is Monday. You hate the mocks?
No, I love the storylines with mock drafts. Like I'm sure Bilal Coulibaly is going to be higher in yours, but
Yeah, he is.
um, I like being more specific Like I actually think Brandon Miller is going to be a Rocket now because I don't think, I mean, Amen Thompson in a Portland uniform look pretty
So
fucking dope.
we have Vic, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller being the top three picks, and then I have Cam Whitmore going four because he had the most NBA ready body.
Wow.
And I think that if they don't trade the pick, the Houston Rockets, Ime Udoka wants the most NBA ready guy in terms of body.
Wow.
Cam Whitmore is almost 240 pounds with like a 40 plus inch vertical. So Cam Whitmore, if they keep the pick and this goes out,
Mm.
he fits perfectly in between Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Şengün as that wing. If they keep them and James Harden.
I don't like that discussion. So does Brandon Miller and so does Amen Thompson. I don't think Cam Whitmore will be a Houston Rocket, but that for some reason he kind of reminds me of Benedict Mathurin, where it's like what you're saying. Like he's gonna come into the NBA and make an impact.
No, completely.
And it depends on what team he's going to be on. Is that going to be talked about? Because outside of Benedict's first month, no one really was talking about him. So I think
So
it'll be Amen
so the next one
over
I
him.
have is Amen Thompson going to the Pistons because Henry, one of the sources I met, scouts I met at the NBA scouting combine, said he talked to the overtime elite coach, and he said they believe Amen Thompson will be more successful in the NBA as a wing. Pistons need more wings. They already have three guards. Okay, so they draft Thompson, tell him, hey buddy, you're the best pick available, and you're a wing for us. Then the Magic take his brother as a wing. So, and then the Pacers take Jarris Walker as a power forward for them. They need a power forward. And then Anthony Black, of course, to the Wizards. Taylor Hendricks to the Jazz. The Mavericks supposedly aren't taking Grady Dick, but Kassan Wallace seems like a guy who really fits. I think they want Taylor Hendricks, but I have Hendricks going before them. So then the Magic take Grady Dick, some more 3-point shooting and rebounding for them. Nick Smith goes to the Thunder. He could be a backup for Shea and Josh Giddey. Jordan Hawkins gets Raptors 3-point shooting. Pelicans get a Eric Gordon replica and Keontae George. Kobe Buffkin can be Deontay, DeJounte Murray, and Trey Young's backup. Jalen Hood Schifino could be Taylor Horn Tucker's backup with the Taylor Horn Tucker replacement if he does leave. Then the Lakers need shooting, so they take Jet Howard. The Miami Heat take NBA ready Chris Murray. Noah Clowney is a guy who'll develop behind Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. Similar frame to Kevon Looney. Brees Sensabaugh is a guy who could give the Rockets shooting. Do you like that for the Rockets right there? A little wing right there for them to pair up with.
Well,
They took Cam Whitmore and then they take Brees. So Brees I see more probably as like a swing man who can play shooting guard, small forward, while Cam's more of like that Jason Tatum, small forward, power forward.
we'll trade it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I would take it if it
So
happened.
yeah. So next I have, because the Nets have back-to-back picks, I have them going with Ray and Rupert, who's a little bit more of a project. Then they get Colby Jones, who's more of like a Josh Hart, NBA ready guy. Then you get with the Trailblazers taking Brandon Miller, they get Derek Lively as their backup center if they keep Nurkic or if they bring in a different center, they don't have to get a backup because they have Lively. Bilal Koulibaly, I have him going to like the Kings now because he could be an NBA ready guy who can help him off the bench.
Wow, give him at 20 fucking four, man.
Yeah. I have Derek Whitehead
Wow.
being the Dylan Brooks replacement and Zaire Williams replacement for the Grizzlies.
Did you
Leonard
see Vic's tweet?
who Bilal?
Yeah, top
I,
10 talent. He's top five, but people don't know that. Don't tell people that.
I like him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the Jalen Williams of this draft class. But I do think there's still room for improvement, in my opinion, at least.
Mm,
Like in
I
terms, like I think he's just gonna be a bit raw. Like there's room, like he's gonna take a little bit longer to make an impact. So I think unless there isn't a pure rebuilding team, maybe the Spurs trade back up to get Vic's boy.
that would be cool. That would actually be very cool.
Leonard Miller to the Pacers, he just slides because I just think he's very raw. Olivier Maximus Prosper, the Montreal man from Montreal, he flies up the draft, goes to the Hornets. Maxwell Lewis goes to the Jazz, gives him a 3-and-D guy. The the Pacers take another project with Gregory Jackson, and the Clippers get their backup center in James Najee. Now let's fly through. The Pistons need more wings, even though they drafted Amen Thompson. They take Julian Phillips, Jaime Jaquez to the Pacers, Marcus Sasser to the Spurs, Ben Shepherd to the Hornets, Andre Jackson to the Celtics, Brandon Podazemski to the Magic, Tristan Vukovic to the Thunder, Jalen Wilson to the Kings, Sidi Sissoko to the Hornets, Taquavian Smith as the Bones Highland replacement for the Nuggets, Keontae Johnson to the Hornets if they keep all their picks, Imani Bates because their new general manager is from the Clippers. Clippers took Brandon Boston. They just seem like guys who like taking second round picks who have high potential. Amari Bailey reminds me of the Gary Trent Jr. and Will Barton draft picks, so I could see the Blazers doing that. Bobby Klintman to the Spurs, Kobe Brown to the Grizzlies, Seth Lundy to the Hawks, Julian Strawther to the Lakers, Hunter Tyson to the Clippers, Tracy Jackson to the Cavaliers, Jordan Walsh to the Thunder, Jalen Clark to the Nets. Jordan Miller is like Torrey Craig 2.0 for the Suns. Then Adama Sanogo, if Naz Reid leaves, Adama Sanogo and Nathan Knight can be your backup centers. Chris Livingston and Amari Moore are kind of like, and even Jay-Z and Gortman are all like kind of like prospects, developmental picks. Ignore Schwebe and Flagler. Those picks are forfeited. And the last two picks are Isaiah Wong and Malcolm Casalone. Not bad, right?
Yeah. You ever have a calzone?
I actually have had it's Casalon. I think it's Casalon, and I said calzone. Casalon. But I have had calzones. I like
Oh, the player.
yeah, I think calzones are good. I don't know if I like a calzone or a stromboli better. You?
Never had a stromboli actually. I think
Calzone, I
some
believe.
calzone, like a good calzone, is really fucking good.
I think the difference between a calzone and a stromboli is calzone is completely enclosed, and a stromboli
Okay,
is the one that's rolled up and you could see the outside. You know what I mean? Like the
sounds
calzone's the one
good.
that the roll. It's like a roll. You know, like how a calzone is the one that's full is a pizza that's folded inwards. So the
Hmm.
outside is the crust, while the the stromboli is I think a pizza just rolled up like a
I'm gonna
pizza.
just Google it because a calzone is still open. Oh, it's not open. Oh, oh yeah, okay. A calzone. Here's an explanation. A calzone is a taco, while a stromboli is a burrito.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
That's a terrible fucking comparison. I don't think that's good at all.
Oh my God, these look so good.
You've
Oh
never had a stromboli?
no, I've
They're
never
really
seen one
good.
before either.
I had my first deep dish in Chicago when I went. A little overrated, but still good.
I'm jealous. Yeah, where'd you go? Oh, didn't you go
Uh
to some rando spot?
yeah, but it was still good. It was like
Yeah, I'm
uh,
pretty picky with deep dish. I only really like Rosati's. Otherwise, I think it's pretty. Just I think it's pretty solid, but I'd still like to think the classic Chicago pizza is squared, like a tavern or pub
really.
squared cut pizza.
Is this
Oh, those are good. Nom, nom, nom. I'll
all
be in
right?
Chicago in less than a week.
If you're a Celtics fan, Peyton Pritchard wants out. And I was listening to some Celtics NBA writers, and they were basically like, look, they're either going to trade one of their four guards, the four guards being Smart, White, Brogdon, or Peyton Pritchard. There's one thought, like, I think Derek White's, they were saying untouchable because of his defense. Malcolm Brogdon seems like the most movable because he missed games in the playoffs and like they still won. He seems like the most expendable. Like he isn't dire. He's kind of a surplus. And the thought process of well, if you trade Brogdon, then you can just have Payton Pritchard play Brogdon's minutes this year, or do you just trade Payton Pritchard? Payton Pritchard wants out, and like, what is Payton Pritchard's thing? Which, if you're like the Warriors, do you take him?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I don't think Peyton Pritchard should be traded. I think it very, very clearly should be Malcolm Brogdon because he has never been healthy ever at this point. Um, I think you got to unload him. But then the thing is, like, well, if I'm the Celtics, do I want Peyton Pritchard taking that step next season, or do I still want to figure something out? Personally, I'd rather run with Peyton Pritchard, who's been on my team for a while. But if he wants a trade, I mean, he wants a trade. I wish Nick was here today. I just found out he's dating a girl called Emma McDonald, who is friends with a YouTuber we used to watch in high school named Arlen. And I can't believe they're dating, and it's crazy. So good for Peyton. Um,
No, I think
I
like
can't believe
he's
they're dating.
what is Payne? If we're gonna talk about Payne real quick, what is his actual potential? Like, what is his ceiling? I see him being like a six-man guy who can average like 14 points and like 5 assists for you off the bench in like 25 minutes. Is that too much?
I don't think so.
Like, I think it's definitely interesting to see how it plays out because I don't know. It's definitely it'll be interesting to see how that one will plays out. What is his trade value? I think it's a couple second round picks. I wouldn't give up a first round pick for Payton Pritchard. He's going into the last year of his contract.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he just averaged 5.6 points. He's a career 6.6 point player. Um, it's just that career 40% 3 point shoot in is nice. But yeah, I mean, this is a guy who's never averaged more than 19 minutes a game. He wants to get traded. They shouldn't have an issue trading him. It's just I don't think that's exactly what they should do. But
No, I completely understand that. And it's something that like when you look at it, I feel like it's interesting. But you know what's another team that's making a move? The Oklahoma City Thunder are trying to move up from pick number 12 to either the top 5 or top 10. Who do you think they could be targeting? Is it Taylor Hendricks? They're trading up for Bilal Coulibaly. I think they could get him at 12 if they just stay put, unless we're reading the tea leaves wrong.
when is the draft? Later this month? Yeah, probably
June
too little
19th.
time for Bilal to throw himself in the top 10. Yeah, man, the Thunder will probably win a couple of championships in the next decade. So Sam can do whatever the hell he wants, and it's going to be terrifying. And it probably won't be terrifying at the time, but Mr. Chet Holmgren is coming back, or is coming into the league, and he already had a good couple of rookies picked last year, anyways. I don't see that stopping this draft. See what happens.
No, no, I agree. And like it seems like this year picks outside of 4 to 22 all like it's not a crapshoot. It's like a good crapshoot if that makes sense. Like anybody, like the potential seems like it could go anywhere if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's going to be
So,
some hidden gems, as there always are. But
oh yeah, there's always hidden gems and like I I wonder who's gonna be the guy that ends up. Is this gonna be like Giannis's draft? I'm just kidding. You know, like Giannis's draft is like the worst draft of all time.
Sam, who was number one that year?
Well, I think it's the Anthony Bennett, right? Oh, no, no, it was
Is Anthony?
Andrew
Oh,
Wiggins, and
God.
Jabari Parker. All right, let's do one last. Let's talk about one last thing before we play Pirtle and some free agents that help their stocks. We'll just run through this. Austin Reeves, Gabe
Yeah.
Vincent,
Yeah.
Rui Hachimura,
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook, they said.
Yeah.
Bruce
Yeah.
Brown, who was the biggest
Yeah.
steal last year.
Yep.
And Cam Johnson, and the final one, Jock Landell.
Nice. Good for the Aussie, mate.
Any of those guys surprised you, or do you think that that was all to be expected?
Jock Landell is pretty surprising. Um, but no, I don't think that list is surprising at all to any fans of those players or teams. I mean,
Yeah,
we sat here all fucking summer talking about Bruce Brown.
yeah, I know. And Austin Reeves, though, we're hearing that he might get $100 million. Is that too much money?
Ooh, I mean, probably, but we'll see. Probably, yeah. If he plays like, I mean, this is a guy where he just keeps improving. That's a really big risk. It's a really big gamble. But, dude, yeah, I'd rather pay him that than not have him if I'm the Lakers. That's for sure. Not everyone can play in the crypt. And he
No,
can. He's not afraid. He's
I,
not afraid.
not afraid. All right, let's go right into Pirtle and let's talk about who.
You ever
What?
you ever listen to No Love by Eminem and Lil Wayne? No love, baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Boom, 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 boom. You've never heard that
Yeah, yeah,
song?
I have.
Oh yeah.
Who's this thick boy? Isn't that Isaac
Oh, that's a
Okuro?
different song. That was yeah. Or Brunson. Oh yeah.
He's taller than 6'5".
I'm going Brunson.
He's taller than six
Uh,
five.
Brunson six
It looks
eight.
kind of like Tari Eason.
Isn't that East though?
Yeah,
Is he older
younger.
than 22
No,
or
yeah,
he's
he's older
younger?
than. He's
All right.
he's a forward. I'm trying to think of a team.
Uh,
Nope.
this is
So
so hard. It's hard playing Pirtle on here because I can't see
look at the
anything.
stream. Look not the
I am
stream.
looking at the screen.
Look at the zoom.
I am looking at the Zoom.
Okay,
It's
so
what are those?
it's somebody
I'm gonna just
obvious.
pause this.
It's somebody obvious.
Could it be Claxton? Oh no, you already
No,
did a net
It's a Southwest team.
or Southeast. Um,
I don't know. I'm just
Gabe
typing.
Vincent.
Okay, so I guess he's close to 7 foot.
Oh shit.
He's not on the Hornets. He's not on so he's on either on the Wizards, Hawks. All right, he's on the Hawks.
AJ Griffin. What's the
He's
age there? What's that say?
24. 24.
AJ Griffin's not that old, right?
It's not. Is it AJ? You want me to put AJ Griffin?
How many guesses are we at?
We're at 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, throw in AJ. Yeah, that would have been shocking. All right. Is this a
Who,
holiday bro? Did they keep both holiday bros?
dude? Who is this on the fucking Atlanta Hawks? This is where we need Barton.
Man.
I'm trying to think,
Do we
man.
have a height here?
Yeah, he's around 7 foot, so he's like one of their taller guys.
Oh, is it? How's it? What is it? Not Onyeka?
No, it can't be.
Why?
Is it?
Fuck.
Who the
Are
fuck
you
is
keep
this?
guessing? I can't see anything here.
He wears
Are we at our
0.
last guess
Who's number 0?
on the Hawks?
Yeah.
I don't like not knowing these stats.
Is it Sadiq Bey?
Who'd you just guess?
Is it Sadiq Bey? Or like
It's got to be Sadiq Bey, dude. I forgot he played for him. Is this our
no,
last
but
guess?
he's a forward center. Like
You did you do Jalen Johnson?
yeah, that was like my last guess I did.
It's
Okay.
not Clint Capella again, right? Do we have an age here?
We have the age of 24. The only person I'm
This is
thinking
a
is
24-year-old.
Bruno Fernando. That's
Chris
all.
thinks it's Bruno.
That's what I think it is. Because didn't they just trade back for Bruno at the
I didn't even
deadline?
know I didn't even know they had him.
Thank the fucking Lord.
No.
Thank the fucking Lord, dude. Yeah, Rocket News. You got that one, baby.
Yeah, that was huge.
Alrighty. That's it for
Bruno
today.
Fernando. Oh man, that dude started the year at starting center.
For the Hawks. I mean, for the Rockets.
Yeah.
He's never played for Atlanta. I just didn't know they had kept them.
Yeah, I forgot
All right, you got anything else you
what
want to do? I thought
happened.
today's show was productive.
Bulls in 5.
Alrighty.
No, got a lot of errands, random shit to do today.
I'm gonna end the
Uh,
show. You got anything else?
Go Bulls.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the new show. Should be better tomorrow. I shouldn't be using my computer microphone tomorrow. I don't know why this microphone wasn't connecting. That'll be something I'll have to figure out today. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys did enjoy, be a friend. Tell a friend. We'll be back tomorrow, same time as always. I'll talk to you later, Jackson.
Peace.